Hey guys, I'm going to start this video off with a quote from Harriet Tubman, and I'm sure you'll see the relevance in the video very soon. Harriet quoted, "I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew that they were slaves." Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. You guys are watching Talks with Ryan. Like, share, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. And let's get into today's video.
He doesn't want the state to tell business owners what to do anymore. So now it's their choice. Starting next Wednesday, March 10th, if they want to limit capacity or require mask wearing, they can.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott may have not have said a whole lot of individual words. But last I remember, words still have meanings. They have absolute meanings. And instead of words of freedom like he should have been speaking, all I heard was a formal display of compliance conditioning towards the people. And we're about ready to watch his speech.
He says we're not in the clear yet. We are in the middle of a pandemic, but he says the state of Texas has enough PPE, COVID-19 testing, and vaccines to keep Texans safe.
COVID has not suddenly disappeared. COVID still exists.
COVID still exists.
In Texas, in the United States, and across the globe. But it is clear from the recoveries, from the vaccinations, from the reduced hospitalizations, and from the safe practices that Texans are using, that state mandates are no longer needed.
You know, Albert Einstein quoted the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over again, but expecting a totally different outcome every time. Well, now we can add to that. State mandates are solely faith-based, only. And think about this. Abbott just admitted at one time, although it goes against everything the Constitution says, that he felt that he needed to keep Texans safe. He honestly feels like one person himself can dictate and control a whole state full of people the size of Texas. That, my friends, is insanity. And it's even more insane if you believe it.
So today, I'm issuing a new executive order that rescinds most of the earlier executive orders. Effective next Wednesday, all businesses of any type are allowed to open 100%.
Now, did you guys just hear the big buzzword? He said that the people are now allowed, as in they was not allowed or forbidden to do so before. Guys, this is nothing less than an experiment to train the minds of Americans. And just like in my opening quote, 90% of Americans don't even realize that they're under this spell.
All businesses of any type
Are allowed
to
open 100%.
That includes any type of entity in Texas. Also, I am ending the statewide mask mandate.
This is your typical reverse psychology. You take something away that's wanted and has been normalized for a long time. And once the people are to the point of exhaustion, you then reward them with the very thing that you took away from them. All you're doing is manipulating the mind into thinking that it's rewarded, when really it was stolen in the first place. Essentially, he's being the villain, and he's also wanting to be the hero. He used threats of force, aka the police department, and basically initiated unjust mandates that literally crippled the entire state of Texas. And now that he has spoken and, quote, opened Texas, he's now considered the hero? Guys, this is no different if a cop beats the living hell out of you, and then just because he brushes you off and lets you go free and don't leave a paper trail, he's considered a nice guy? No, that's totally backwards and it's wrong.
There is an exception. If COVID-19 hospitalizations stay above 15% for 7 days straight, Abbott says a county judge may implement a county-wide mask mandate. But the judge can't get people in trouble for not wearing the mask.
It is now time to open Texas 100%.
The last thing we need is Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime everything's fine, take off your mask, forget it. It still matters.
The last thing we need is Neanderthal thinking.
So here's some Neanderthal type thinking for you, Joe. If masks work, then why the social distancing? If social distancing works, then why the mask? If the VAXX works the wonders that they claim, then why the mask or social distancing at all? And if they all work so well, why does anyone care at all if someone like me or you chooses to not blindly follow orders? Guys, they don't really want to let this down, especially considering that the state of Texas has only had 7.1% of their total population jabbed so far. See guys, here's what gets me. They continue to promise that things will go back to normal eventually if we follow the mandates and if we obey orders. But then, if you pay close attention, you turn around and you start to hear things like Dr. Fauci. And it makes me think that everything they're saying is just more propaganda and more lies.
There are certain aspects of being vaccinated and what that means to you personally and your own personal safety and that of your family versus what vaccines will allow you to do in society.
Here it comes, guys. This is where Fauci contradicts everything that they've been promising to the American people.
One relates to you yourself being vaccinated, and the other relates to the number of people and the relative percentage of people in society that will be vaccinated, because there will be things that you will not be able to do because the burden of virus in society will be very high, which it is right now, with the 7-day average being quite high. So there are things, even if you're vaccinated, that you're not going to be able to do in society. For example, indoor dining, theaters, places where people congregate. That's because of the safety of society.
That's because of the safety of society.
You yourself, what you can do when you are together with another person, we are looking at that. And we're going to try and find out very quickly what recommendations could be made about what people can do.
So regardless of all the smoke and mirrors from Greg Abbott, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, all the states that's so-called reopening and giving people back the freedoms that was stolen from them in the beginning, is basically a big giant nothing burger. Because according to Fauci, they are watching us and they are preparing rules that we have to go by in order to live somewhat of a normal lifestyle.
One of the things that's universal here that we know that at this point in time, it is unclear whether when you get vaccinated and you might be protected from clinical disease, which is the primary endpoint of the vaccine studies, that you could conceivably be infected, have virus in your nasopharynx, and at that same time have no symptoms, which is the reason why we recommend and say you still need to wear a mask. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. Because if you do have virus in your nasopharynx, even though we hope that when the data comes in, it's going to show that the very virus level is quite low and you're not transmitting it. We don't know that now. And for that reason, we want to make sure that people continue to wear masks despite the fact that they're vaccinated.
Guys, in other words, play it day by day. Don't take anything for granted and take everything you hear on the propaganda screen with a grain of salt. I appreciate everybody that watches my videos. Make sure to leave this video a thumbs up and share it on all your social media platforms. And make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below about what you think about what's going on in Texas and all these other states. Other than that, guys, I appreciate everything and everybody, and I will see you all in the next video.